On the 1st of November 1978, Idi Amin Dada announced that he had annexed the Kagera region. This marked the beginning of the Uganda-Tanzania War. The origin of this conflict can be traced back to the coup that brought General Amin to power in January 1971, consequently removing Milton Obote.
I have no any bad intention from now onwards. I wanted to be very friendly to entire world community.
At the time, President Nyerere had enjoyed close relations with Obote since he backed his socialist policies. Nyerere refused to recognize Idi Amin's new regime and even went ahead to offer Obote and many of his supporters exile in Tanzania. In September of 1972, 1,000 supporters of Milton Obote crossed the border through the northwestern side of Tanzania, heading to Kampala. In response to this, Idi Amin proceeded to bomb the Tanzanian towns near the border. Nyerere's general encouraged him to retaliate, but he decided not to. He chose to settle the conflict through mediation brokered by the Somalia president at the time, Mohamed Siad Barre. On the 5th of October, they signed the Mogadishu Agreement, where they both agreed to withdraw their troops 10 kilometers behind the border. They would also have to stop supporting forces that were hostile to the other's regime. It seemed that this agreement meant nothing to these two presidents because Nyerere refused to attend the OAU summit in 1975. That's the Organization of African Unity. This summit was held in Kampala and was chaired by Idi Amin. John Malekela, the Tanzanian foreign minister at the time, remarked as follows: "In Uganda, several thousand people have lost their lives. For African heads of state to go there to a summit is tantamount to giving a blessing to these killings." So where was Kenya within all this? Turns out, there was a long-running dispute between Nairobi and Dar es Salaam, which prompted Tanzania to close its border with Kenya. As a result, all these events culminated in the collapse of the East African community. On the day Idi Amin took Kagera region, Ugandan troops raped and murdered the local population. They burned property and stole cattle. Close to 40,000 civilians fled their homes and took refuge in the bush. They had received information that Tanzania was amassing troops near the border. However, this was not the case, and Nyerere was caught off guard. Neither of the two countries was in a position to fight though. Idi Amin had advantages in terms of aircraft and tanks, but he lacked the pilots. There was also general disorganization within the army. Tanzania, on the other side, had a well-organized army, the Tanzania People's Defense Force, but it was relatively small and concentrated in the south of the country, near the border with Mozambique. It would take weeks for them to get to the Uganda border. The war ended with the overthrow of Idi Amin and the installation of a new government in Uganda. On the 11th of April 1979, Tanzania forces supported by Ugandan exiles captured Kampala, forcing Idi Amin to flee the country. After Amin's departure, a coalition government led by the Ugandan exile and Tanzanian military commanders was established. This marked the end of the war and the beginning of a new era for Uganda, although political instability continued for some time afterwards.